Guys, what is going on? It has been a hot minute, but promising to Dale, promising to Jason that I'd film. Um, it's a busy weekend. I manage a bowling center. It's a large center, and we are hosting the state tournament through June. So every weekend is busy, but I was able to get my assistant manager to take over for me tonight for this reason only. We had a squad that I knew they could handle, and I'll be there tomorrow and Sunday. But tonight we're gonna do two at a time. It's gonna be just a quick race. It's never quick with me. We always get into stuff. So guess what we're gonna be featuring this week, man? Some red lines. I've been getting into some red lines, and I found a few things along the way. Yeah, I found a few things. What else we got going? Care of Scoop, yeah, among others. So, what we've got going here is two red lines. One is a classic. That is a 1970 Mantis. I have always wanted one. I don't know that I overpaid for it, but I paid a good buck. Probably what I used to pay for some noodle heads back in the day. But I know noodle heads are at least about twice the price for the condition the ones I have are in. I think I have eight, and they're all pretty pristine, and this one is too. We'll take a look at it here in a little bit. We're also going to feature this school bus. It is from the fifth convention of the Hot Wheels National Collectors, and I always had my eye on this. So I had one collecting it, and I always said if I can get my hands on another one at a good price, and I don't even want to tell you what I bought this thing for, but it was under 20 bucks. So I had to get it, and I racing the one that had the worst card. They were both pretty good cards, but we're gonna race these. Just a couple things. Everybody's using the oil method now. I gotta say, hats off to Tim. Tim, we knew something was up, brother. You were just so stupid fast beyond anybody that was running graphite. And at the time, that's what the races were about. You had to have dry lube, had to be graphite, and there was just something different going on. And the fact that you came forward last year, I think it's been the most phenomenal thing for the hobby. Um, you're seeing old guys like me and Red Pill and some others competitive again and interested again. And you're seeing new guys that are just getting into the hobby or guys that are coming over from Pinewood and they're doing real nice. And you guys are all lucky. You young bucks, and I'm calling you young bucks, even if you're a long timer in Pinewood. You young bucks in diecast racing, you are lucky because some of us that have been doing this a while, we have cut our teeth twice, bending over backwards trying to make diecast cars faster. And yeah, with Tim kind of revealing what the base method was. I think we all do something a little different. We have to. I mean, whether it's be our method or our application or the amounts or the products that we use, we got to keep our secrets. That's got to stay secret. So, but what it's done is it's just brought new life back into the hobby, and for Tim, which is Blue Line Racing, thanks, man. It really made this hobby interesting again. If we're all on the same page, I could care less. If somebody beats me, I would tip my hat. I threw my hat into the race here at Clay's here tomorrow. I don't know how I'll do. They are my two fastest cars here, but my problem has been in the past the travel. It seems like travel would always affect my cars. Maybe it won't affect the oil. Maybe the oil method will bode well. And I don't know that I'm going to win, but just to be competitive or win the damn thing, hell, that'd be freaking amazing. Um, Having Scoop living a mile away, he and I have been testing off of each other. So over the last few years, he's been, um, using me as a punching bag a little bit. But my cars have always been competitive, at least with his. He'd get me some, I'd get him some. But right now, some of my fastest. There's no times that are being run like that on my track, and two of those cars are at Clay's. So we'll see how they do. But hey, man, we're on the same page. So whoever wins that thing, They earned it, and I tip my hat already. And if I get lucky, I'm very fortunate because I know a lot of fast guys are going to be there. Um, we'll rip these. I'm going to rip that one open. We'll weigh these things, and then I'll just show you what I've been working on in terms of the oil in my collection and things like that. I'll just show you some of my faster times among the ranks, and then we'll get into these two guys. We'll work them up, and we'll see where they are in terms of the ranks. But it's just a pleasure to have both these vehicles in my collection. It'd be a real thrill to race them, and hopefully they're fast. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We'll rip these open and weigh them. Hey, yeah, and for you collectors out there, yeah, we just ripped open a fifth anniversary or fifth convention school bus. That thing is ripped and here. That's what we racers do, man. We don't care. I do like collecting. When you get a piece like this, I do like to keep one, and then if I can get one at a good price, then we'll race them. That's kind of my method for these. Let's go right at this school bus here. We'll weigh it. We'll just take a closer look at it here. Right now on the scales, tipping at 68.5. Come on, brother. Be fast, man. Be fast. These things are about the coolest things out there for me. It's just one of those iconic castings. The original, to have it in pristine condition, yeah, that would be hot. That would just be hot. Um, I don't know that they're as fast as funny cars, but there's always that hope, right? And that's what we're in it for. You never know until you run it and until you see it. God, this is gorgeous. Whew, that is clean. That is clean, and those wheels are kicking. So you cannot beat these RLCs or these Neo Classics for the styling that they've done and the reproduction that they've done. Really, really special. Man, I love that vehicle. That is hot. Ah, the Mantis. Reason this means a lot is when I was racing, I was a younger guy, just on a stupid little track. The speed um, Speed Seeker was always my fastest car, and it's nowhere near my fastest car now. Although there are fast Speed Seekers, and I have a couple, but I mean in terms of being a lead or anything like that. But yeah, I've seen a fast Mantis, or I know of a fast Mantis out there, and so once Brother Scoop had one in his collection, I've just been on the lookout, just for sentimental reasons, but also it's like, damn, he found an original. Boy, that's clean underneath. I literally just got this today, guys. It literally just got delivered today. Damn. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for with Redlines. I mean, the top can be chewed up a little bit, and I think this one has a little bit of chew marks on it. That's fine by me. But man, when you go underneath, and ask the sellers, ask the sellers if the wheels are intact and they roll straight. I mean, their reputation on eBay or wherever is on the line, and they should be honest with you. And that's what I asked this seller, and he said it rolled straight and smooth, and he wasn't wrong. These wheels are in great shape, near mint, and straight and smooth. Let's put him on the scales, and then we'll do a little pre-game. Okay. Oh, 40.4. Are you kidding me? Let's go. For the young bucks or the newer guys, I'm sure some of the older guys, even with Pinewood, would know. When you're in weight class, our weight class runs from 31 grams to 40, and when you're saying 40, that's 40.9. Normally, these vehicles, like the Speed Seeker or some of the Ultra Hots of 2011 or 2012 Ultra Hots Speed Seekers, they are over 40 grams. They're like 42, 43 grams, 44, something like that. But when you have a car that could be this fast and it could be in the 31 to 40 class, that makes you happy. That is a nice surprise right there. That is nice. All right, guys, let's just do a little pregame here. I'll give you a little peek at what some cars in my ranks are running, and then we'll take a look at these two. All right, I'm into this, but not as much as you guys have been. Meaning I'm definitely into it, but in terms of how far I've progressed in testing a lot of cars, I've really only tested my ranks and not even a handful of new vehicles. And so you can see here in the 30 gram and under class, there's only 2 cars under there that I've tested with oil. And guess what, guys? Maybe I'm revealing a secret. I found a graphite method and a graphite mix that I've been using that had been absolutely dynamite, and honestly was running as fast as some of Scoop's oiled cars about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, before I started to really get into oil. And I'm finding under 45 grams, you got to test both, guys. Now, would I send a car in graphite? Maybe just to test, just to see if it would hold up. But I think you're running a risk. Sending a car with oil, I think, is the better play, is the more sure play. But I'm telling you, man, some of these lighter cars, that is with graphite. I challenge someone to come here with a 30 gram or under car, probably the salt shaker, and run a faster time than this one does. This one ran a 2089 Solo here about 2 weeks ago, and that was, again, work with the graphite method. Just pulled him out here, haven't touched him since. Let's see what he runs. Not bad, but this is what I mean about graphite. 2101. Now that is unbelievable. Unbelievable for a 30 gram and under car. Let's switch lanes and let's see what he does. There's a better run. Not really. 2104. I'm not upset, but the only thing is kind of what I just said before we put him in the block there. Graphite is good, but I find a drop off. So if you have a graphited car, you might send it and then it drops off. Now 2104 is still cooking. But yeah, I did take some evidence, photos of the 2089 that it ran. Getting into the ones that I have oiled, I mean, this 41 to 50 gram class, yeah, these are the oiled ones. When I left off, this guy here was running high 2080s. Let's see where he is now. And here's the difference with oil is clear. 2077, and I lied. I was mistaken. I said high 2080s. He was in the low 2080s. He was running like 2081 or 2082. Let's run it one more time in that same lane and see what we got. It's actually, I think, the slower lane. See, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. There we go. At 2777 and 2081. That is cooking. That would be in some of my top 24 times before doing oil. That would be probably anywhere between 10th to 15th fastest in my entire ranks. And here it's just sitting at the top of the 41 to 50s. Yeah, when we get into the metal, I separated my classes, plastic-based, metal-based, for the young bucks who are watching. Way back, Blue Line, Red Pill, and myself, we'd be talking, we'd be texting, and we'd be racing, and we'd be doing all this stuff. And we were always just trying to find the fastest car. And it just dawned on me at some point that what in the hell are we doing? Because I'm running some of these lighter cars, and pound for pound, I knew that they were incredibly fast. And so I pioneered the weight classes, and I also broke it down. I don't think anybody else has broken it down to that level, but I broke it down to the weights, which we are all still using, which is great. But I do a plastic-based rank and a metal-based rank. And that's just to see the variety. I could run a top 24 out of all those, and that would be fine. But I just wanted to be very intentional about running a plastic-based class and a metal-based class and all the weights. From there, I think Brandon took off with it. He was then building his track and his displays and things like that. And his channel was more popular than mine ever will be. even back then, and so it kind of caught on from there. But yeah, I was just running these things, and I'm like, guys, we're not considering 30 and 40 gram cars that are really, really fast. Yeah, they're not the fastest cars, obviously, because physics is involved, but that same physics is showing me really, really good speeds pound for pound with some of these cars. Um, this is my number one car in the 41 to 50 metal base class. Yeah, it's a Redline. It's a what for too. Watch what he runs. He should run high 2070s. He's 2077 to 2079 like clockwork. And that's the beauty of oil. Here we go. And if you run them in the correct lane, that would be a good thing. All right, here we go. Let's take him to the top. But there's so many fast guys I can't even name. I with David, and oh my God, I'm watching Flip just lose his mind on everybody. I mean, Blue Line, Red Pill, still everybody's fast. I mean, that's what's kind of cool. Everybody's fast right now. It's just who has that elite car, who has that elite method. And like clockwork, that what for two running 2079. That's fun, man. Love to see a red line just kick ass like that. Again, credit to Tim. If it wasn't for him, that car would have collected dust or gone on eBay. A lot of these cars would have collected dust or gone on eBay, and they've been brought back to life just incredibly. You see my metal base rank there. Let's just skip, and then we'll get into our featured cars. Now, there's the two fastest that I sent, and I did test on a 29-foot hill. Mine is 29 foot. Huh. How about 29-inch hill? Mine is 33, but I'm able to vary the height, which helped in my testing. So the two fastest cars that tested on that height went. How they hold up in travel is going to be the thing. I mean, if they run equivalent to here, I hope I'm competitive. I don't know if I'm going to win, but I just hope it's a great race. And again, hats off to whoever wins the damn thing. And if I get lucky, I get lucky because there's just so much speed out there. But here's two cars that just, I'll run the one. It was the third ranked car. Now, when I stopped doing this, I was running graphite, and my record was 2072. But most cars would be running high 2070s, anywhere from 2075 to 2079. My fastest would be running 72 to 74, and I'm only talking maybe a couple cars. This one's third in my overall rank right now. This is in my top tier. Here we go. That was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. We saw a what for two run that time. That was absolutely terrible. Let's run that blue one once, see what happens there. That concerns me. Not gonna lie. That is the time that I basically just showed you from a 40-gram car in the class. I don't know what happened there. Let's try this one. I don't know. Ooh, there we go. I don't know what the hell happened to that red one, but 2062. Scoop can chime in on that. 2062 on this track is lethal. That is lethal. We'll change lanes. I'll have to take a look at that blue one because sometimes the wheels on that, when they're not centered, they do get stuck. Even with cleaning the whole thing, I mean on the red one, on that red one, they do get stuck. The blue one has been good. The black one has been good. But that red one sometimes gets a little temperamental. Here we go. What do we got? Yeah. That's cooking, guys. That's cooking. And the two that I sent were faster than that. I mean, there's anything under 2065 is light speed on this track. For example, let's take a look at this funny car. I reworked this thing from the heavyweight ranks, and boy, did it love the juice. It loved the juice. I'm going to say high 2060s, low 2070s, which is unbelievable for a funny car. 2074. Not bad, not great. I thought he would have ran just a little bit better, but I mean, that was near record times from prior. I had only maybe 2 or 3 cars running 2074s. See if we can get a little more out of him here. Yeah, just a little bit better. Yeah, that's cooking for a funny car. 2069 is moving. That's that. That red one concerns me. I'll take a look at it after, because that thing has been absolutely ridiculous up to this point. I'm going to run it one more time. I'm going to turn this off, take a look at it, and we'll get them set up. And yeah, like some of these other racing channels show you, this right front wheel was pinching. Like it wasn't, it didn't have slack. It had a lot of slack, but it wasn't free, and it got pinched in there. So I just have to center that wheel, and we'll get him on the track, and we'll see what he does now. That was a much better run. Oh yeah, more like it. Yeah, there was no way that was a 2070s vehicle. Yeah, that is what my third and fourth vehicle are running, guys. And again, Scoop can attest what that number means. That number is ridiculous. One more run with this guy, and then we'll go get at our new contenders. That was a bad start. Yeah, let's do that one again. That was a horrible start. There we go. A little better. It's going to be, well, you have no idea how fast that is. You have no idea. That is, our record here is now 2053. That's one of the cars that went. 2056, I can't even explain how fast that is. That is sound barrier. 2060 is the sound barrier. So yeah, the top two that went at 29 inches were faster than these two guys. And you just saw what they did. Unheard of. So let's go upstairs and we will get our new contenders in these blocks. We'll work them up and we'll see what they do, and then we'll compare them to the ranks. All right, guys. Here's the 40.4 gram 1970 Mantis. Beautiful red line. Really hopeful for this thing. Would love to get it in the ranks. Would love to see this thing go beyond the potential of a 40 gram car, because again, normally these cars are over 41 grams. Let's see what he's got. If he can cut under 2100. Whoa. How we doing? We still with it? Yes, we are. Damn near dropped the phone. Oh yeah. First run, 2094. That's after giving it the business. So, let's see what we've got here. If we get this thing under 2090, man, I would be a happy man. Nice runner. Rail runner. Woo! Oh, my landlord. Oh, my landlord. Wow. That thing is cooking. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Nothing surprises me with oil. How about you guys? You never know what you're going to see, but that really, really pleases me when you spend, oh, let's just say we spent $56 on this car. Did I say 56? I really wanted it though, guys. This will be retirement money someday. We will be putting these all on eBay at some point and gathering hopefully a nice little monthly income off of all the Hot Wheels you collect over your life. Here we go. 2086 was the last run. Little wiggles. Little wiggles. Yeah, I didn't think it was that good. 2093, still not bad. Not bad. Let's match them up to the ranks and see what we got. In the gatekeeper position in the 31 to 40 class is a Freak Rally Special. These guys aren't fast. I've tried a bunch after this one, and this one just happened to be a Freak, and he is the current gatekeeper. He responded real well with oil. Pretty newer casting. Let's see what a 56-year-old casting does against him. Here we go. Oh my, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Whew. 91 to 105. We're going to be saying goodbye to the gatekeeper. Yeah, we'll call that one and done. That means he needs a rework. So we're going to go up one, and we will run him against this guy whose name suddenly escapes me. I used to know these by heart, guys. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look on the bottom, and we are going to, of course it's the Pocket Bikester. Of course it is. I've known it forever, and you know, when you're away from it for a little bit, you forget some of these unique names. Very obscure names. All right, Pocket Bikester in the far lane. Top end killer. If there was a half-mile track, I would absolutely bet on that car. Absolutely bet on that car. It has such great top end in the quarter mile. Sometimes it just loses too much steam prior to that top end, and it just can't make it up. But it's still ranked. So let's see what it does here against the Mantis. Mantis is out. Mantis holds. Oh, wow. Top end city. 2103 for the Pocket Bikester. And that is more than a 10 1,000 speed. We'll switch the lanes anyway. Let's just see if the Bikester needs warmed up. All right, the Mantis with an 11 1,000ths advantage. That Mantis is cooking. 2091 like clockwork. Hopefully we can get him under the 2090s paired up like that. He's moving up. All right, in the number 4 position is the Jackhammer in the 31 to 40 metal base class. Let's line him up against that wicked Mantis. Here they go. Mantis is cooking. There it is. 2089. It is getting faster. We could have called that one and done, but we're going to run him one more time here with the lane switched. That Mantis is nice. 96 to 104. Not as good as time as before, but still I think that was just getting a little wonky start. Okay, enough guessing. Let's just take him right to number 1. Here is the blown Camaro. You know what, you love it or hate it. This one's not too bad, but I think his days, it's going to be a good race. The Mantis looks really, really good at mid-track, and then it seems to hold cars off. So whatever air it's throwing, so far nothing in this weight class has touched it. Will the blown Camaro, or will it lay an egg like it likes to do sometimes? This one's pretty good. Let's see what happens for the number 1 spot in the 31 to 40 metal base class. That's a good race, and that is the Mantis. 92 to 94. Let's switch it up. Time to beat is 2092. Oh, that Mantis drove around him. Had a bad start. Still ran 2093.